Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to our lower bracket final matchup here today. We've got a pretty giga banger here today between South Korea and Thailand. Two of the big teams from the Asian region, still going strong. Both of them, some huge performances so far in this tournament. South Korea taking down the number one seed from that winner bracket, and Thailand taking down some big names as well and bringing it close against teams of the likes of United States. So I'm pretty excited for this matchup here today. I'm joined by none other than Vordi. How you doing, man? And are you excited for this matchup?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I think this is going to be a bang. I mean, Seed 8 versus Seed 7 on paper, pretty close in terms of skills, but some pretty big differences. South Korea being a very strong speed team and just an overall good DT team. From DT1 through to DT4, I think all of those maps are going to be in their wheelhouse. In Thailand, you have a lot of tech, comfort, some of the hiddens, especially No Mod 1. It's kind of a weird skill set to want to pick into, but Thailand is a rare team where they would actually want to pick No Mod 1s as they're so comfortable on big aim. So yeah, I think there's going to be some pretty predictable bans. Most likely, Thailand banning 2 speed maps, something like Free Mod 1, DT2, DT3. And South Korea maybe banning something like Hidden 2, Hidden 3, maybe No Mod 5. Of the gimmickier maps, but after that it's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, pretty like to be expected bans. I think both teams definitely have weaknesses to target or areas where they can probably confidently get points. Like you said, South Korea in that speed is pretty much guaranteed. Like Thailand is definitely, not to say that a horrible speed team by any means, but they are definitely the weakest speed team remaining in the tournament. So South Korea is just going to abuse the crap out of that. And similarly for Thailand, just probably one of the best like reading teams remaining in the tournament, reading/hidden teams. So they're definitely just going to opt into those reading picks, like you said. And I mean, it's also worth mentioning, moving into these later pools, these teams, most notably Thailand, has a notable player or two that could possibly put on some huge carry performances as these pools get harder, as we've already seen how ridiculously difficult this finals pool is. Lesbury is the one I'm thinking of, who, if he shows up today, I think South Korea might be in trouble.
Yeah, I think Lesbury is the big name on the side of Thailand for a lot of these maps. But you know, it's interesting because people, often talk about Lesbury being the big carry of Thailand, but even on something like No Mod 1, you have Chess, you have Salvatore, you have Phantasma, who can also put up really consistent scores. So I don't think it's just Lesbury. I think for a lot of the maps Thailand are going to pick, you're going to be looking at, a 3-man at least for a lot of them to put up big scores. But especially on some of the potential maps South Korea might pick, it might have to be on Lesbury to try to get a break point in some cases. But yeah, I mean, we saw Lesbury's performance on the tiebreaker last week was the reason they're still here.
Yeah, he was the reason that they stayed in the tournament, right? I think he got 600 something K, and his team, not bad scores by any means, but all around that 300 mark, and he pulled them over the line there to keep them in the tournament. So yeah, just really, really good player so far, one of the top performers every week. But that's, no slouch to South Korea, because we've seen some of their performances just as a team. I think they are more of a, not to discredit Thailand, I think they have great ability on a lot of their picks as a full roster, but South Korea, I think, is probably a more well-rounded team. They have just more consistency across their board on all of their players, and they don't really have like that player that you just think of that is their huge carry. I think they've got a lot of really, really strong players, as we saw against France when they played them 6-0, and they just put up some of the most monstrous scores. Definitely played the best that week out of all the teams. So South Korea, definitely scary, taking some of the reins from their OWC roster, I think. Maybe a bit of a OWC buff.
Yeah, I do agree. I do think that overall as a team, they're a little bit more solid. But I think one player to look out for is Piper. I think Piper having one of the best scores of last week with an FC on DT4. And that DT4 was kind of a monstrous map. So FCing it in match, I think in the match, it's like everybody on 300k, one person on 500k on the other team, and then just an FC from Piper. And that's the kind of performances that really matter when the pool gets this hard. I mean, this finals pool is already harder than last 4WC's Grand Finals, probably by a big step up on a lot of these picks. So having a player who's actually really comfortable on DT4 is that hard, and this DT4 is even harder. It's going to be really important. And actually, I think they go for a DT4 ban.
I was about to say, yeah. Speaking of the DT Piper on the DT4, that is going to be gone, taken out of the pool. I think pretty expected, I think, from Thailand. They're going to want to avoid those really, really tricky DT picks. Maybe expected to go more into the tapping side of things, but I mean, hey, if they didn't think DT4 was a possible win whatsoever, even more so than the tapping maps, then it's probably a good ban for them, especially with how good South Korea is on high AR reading. So
and I actually would say this DT4 is, you'd be surprised how much tapping is in it. It's like 225 BPM, and there's some stamina in there. So on top of being mostly about slider, high AR slider aim, there's also a non-trivial amount of tapping. So it's kind of a double uncomfort for Thailand potentially.
Yeah, and you tend to see that as we get into these later stage pools and a lot of higher end tournaments, especially open rank tournaments, like in the later end of the pools, you start to see those high AR kind of gimmicky maps, but they also have lots of elements of speed, elements of stamina as well. And it's kind of just, if you're not the all-round DT GOAT, you're going to really struggle on something like that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I do think as well, an example of, one of those maps that are a bit mixed skill sets, you have like DT2, which is, compared to DT2 last week, which is mostly straight stamina with a little bit of finger control. This one is a really big mix of finger control and stamina. And then DT3, mostly speed focused, but also has a surprising amount of aim at a pretty tough density. I think you see that as well in a few of the other mod categories where you can't just be good at one thing, you have to be overall just really solid on multiple skill sets.
If I'm not mistaken here, is this the last two Asian teams remaining in the tournament going up against each other here? Pretty sure, so...
You might be right. There's USA, there's Canada on the North American side.
We've got Chile
as
Ukraine.
Well. You have Chile and Ukraine, right? Yeah, so that's...
South Korea and Thailand fighting for the representation here. Final Asian team remaining here, and Thailand, to even get this far, they've done really well for themselves. Such compared to a country like South Korea that has just like a lot more signups, a lot more notable players just in general, especially in OWC as well. Thailand have done really, really well to make it this far. They've got such a solid core on their team with Phantasma, Salvatore, Chests, and Lesbury. So yeah, it's just really good to see them doing so well in a tournament like this.
Yeah, I think maybe some delays happening in the match. I think there was a mention of a potential 10-minute delay, and it's already been 8 minutes now, I think. Maybe some players missing. I think South Korea still has to do their 2 bans.
All right, cool. So just a little bit of delay. Hopefully we'll get into the rest of these bans shortly. Apparently South Korea is missing 3 players. Hopefully that gets sorted out soon.
Yeah. I wonder if it's a case of other players being in other tournaments right now. That's my best guess. I think the worst case scenario is they haven't gone online yet and therefore aren't more, but it might just be the case of people in playing other tournaments right now.
Yeah, possibly, for sure. I mean, what else can we talk about with this pool in general? I haven't really had much of a look at the pool myself, but any other standout picks in here that you think either team could go for?
I would love to see Hidden 2. Hidden 2 is a crazy map to see in a tournament. It is Eurobeat style flow aim, 3 minutes 30 seconds long, but every flow aim pattern has cuts in it. It is absolutely wild. I think that's a pick potentially Thailand can go for. If you have a single player, even 2 players maybe, who can play that map well, that's definitely a pick because you're not going to see very high scores. Other than that, yeah, I mean, it's just overall the pool is just very difficult, very cool. Lots of interesting maps. I think Hidden 1 is an example of a map that's very different. It's very high BPM. It's almost 260, which at AR 9.6, normally on the higher side, but just because of the BPM, ends up being very dense. So Thailand being a good alt country, I think they might want to go for that because that Hidden 1 is a pseudo alt map at that point.
Yeah. I mean, 260, you're pushing the bounds of getting into sort of like an alt map, or you just have to be a speed player to play something like that. So for sure, definitely could be a good pick for them moving forward. And yeah, I mean, the hidden tech, like you said, the hidden tech is just generally, when you get to these late stages, it's always the kind of map where, like you said, if you have 1 or 2 players who can play it, it's probably a good pick, unless you're versing, you know, maybe the best team in the tournament at that skill set, where they somehow just have a roster of 4 that can play it well. But yeah, it's just generally one of those skill sets where there's always a few players in the lobby that really just can't play it at all. It's just very, very volatile, those kind of, you know, hidden cuts and weird reading patterns, just find misses everywhere.
Yeah, it is an absolute chain miss nightmare of a map. But, I mean, as for the speed maps, I mean, we already have DT4 banned, but 2 out of the DT2, DT3, and Free Mode 1 are going to be open. I would say, I mean, maybe ban Free Mode 1 as your second ban if you're Thailand, because that is just a no gimmick, strictly really, really hard speed map. It's 240 BPM, but very stamina intensive at that BPM range. Maybe DT2, DT3 you have more of a chance to get around it.
Yeah, I don't know, like the extent of Thailand's stamina cap, but we have seen them perform very, very well on a lot of the No Mod 2s this tournament. I think it was specifically Thunder God, I believe they got like second on the week, and then there was another No Mod 2 I think they played as well. I forget the name of it. I believe it was from quarterfinals, and I think they got really up there on that one as well. They got like top 2 as well, so they have some stamina players, especially among their core players. Some players who can play stamina quite well, so maybe leaving the tapping, like the stamina tapping open, and maybe getting that speed gone, yeah, might be a better option for them. I think they could possibly breakpoint on a stamina map, although it just really depends how far their skill cap goes on that skill set.
Yeah, for sure. I think they also went for No Mod 2 last week in both of their matches. I think they might have picked it twice, or they at least played it twice and won both times, having some really solid scores. So yeah, they can definitely play No Mod 2. They can definitely play stamina of that level. But yeah, so maybe a DT3 ban is more reasonable at that point. But DT3 Free Mode 1 are both going to be very tough with how solid of a speed team South Korea is, and hopefully the players are ready soon. I think we see an okay from Rize.
They done. Okay, so I assume they were playing a tournament, maybe? Yes, it seems like it. Wait, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Oh,
it
yeah,
seems like they
yeah.
might be playing a tournament, not sure. Yeah.
Lespree says we won, let's go. So I assume they were playing a tournament.
That's kind of what it seems like.
And I think, fortunately, there is a 10-minute grace period, so it's good.
Okay, well, finally getting into our bans then. So obviously we've had Thailand's first ban, which was DT4, kind of that all-round sort of reading, tapping, stamina kind of pick gone. And now we're going to be moving into South Korea's bans. So they're going to have 2 bans back-to-back here. And yeah, like we said before, I'm expecting probably low AR reading is just going to be gone. Like, it's probably just going to be 3 No Mod 5. But I don't know, maybe if there's something else really uncomfortable, other possible bans could be, you know, Hidden 2, Hidden 1. And it's actually going to be Hidden 2 and No Mod 4.
No.
So they're going to leave low AR open against Thailand.
Yeah, that's interesting to see the Hidden 3 left open. I'm not surprised about the Hidden 2 No Mod 4 ban. I think they're good bans. Thailand is a really strong tech team, and those 2 maps are very hard tech maps. You know, maybe have some. I mean, South Korea performed really well on the No Mod 5 in, I think it was quarterfinals. So I think they definitely have players who can play low AR. So actually, maybe that's the right strat to go. And then Thailand ban DT2, so one of the 3 speed maps, stamina maps. Kind of surprised to see DT2 instead of DT3 or Free Mod 1, but still a fair ban either way.
Yeah, sure. I think I was more expecting DT3 or Free Mod 1 there, but DT2, fair game. If they felt they couldn't win that one either, then what difference does it really make? So finally, we will be moving into the picks, and first pick, I believe, should be South Korea, I think.
Yep.
trying to remember how the order goes with the roles.
It is indeed South Korea, and I would just expect. I mean, you don't necessarily have to delve straight into a free mode 1 or free DT3 if you think you're just going to win that pick. You could save it for later, but I don't think it's bad to go for those maps. I actually think sometimes when there are maps where you just know, like almost 100% your opponent is not going to pick it, it's better to go for those maps instead of potentially picking something your opponent was thinking of picking.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I agree with that. Like, you know they're not going to pick... we know that Thailand isn't going to pick speed, so South Korea could just pick that DT3 straight away, get a point on the board, and just be up 1-0, and then force Thailand to convert their pick. Which, yeah, it is a pretty good strategy, but, you know, there are obviously a couple of different ways you can come at it from. But that wouldn't be a bad idea.
Go for DT1, also a good option. I mean, South Korea isn't just... They're just like a DT country overall. So I think going for the DT1 is a really solid choice. This is much more of an aim-focused DT1. Obviously, DT1 is the aim DT slot, but we've seen quite a few bursts in some of the previous battles. But this is almost entirely aim. We're still at high BPM. I think this is something South Korea is really comfortable on, as they had a pretty solid DT1 performance last week.
Yeah, 7.61 stars, 270 BPM here on this DT1. And yeah, I think one of their strong picks for sure. However, I'd definitely put a few maps in the pool above this one in terms of South Korea's, I guess, ability to win those picks. I think Thailand definitely have a chance of breakpointing something like this. They've got certain players on their team that could hop off on something like this. And I think we're late enough into the tournament where we're not going to be seeing 3-ways or 4-ways from South Korea. So the all-round team consistency, although it could make a difference, I think less so in a later stage map like this, where you could have one player on the side of Thailand get an FC and pull that win over for them, get the break point.
Yeah, for sure. But at the same time, you know, even the difference between having a few 500 or 400Ks versus 300Ks on your third and fourth player can definitely make a huge difference. But yeah, this is also, being a very tough map. A single FC one way or the other can definitely be the difference, just because of how difficult the map is. I mean, almost approaching 8 stars, getting there, it's a very difficult mechanics A map.
Yeah, we're at the point in 4-digit tournaments now where we're not even in grand finals, and 4 digits are starting to push 8-star maps in their pool. This is like
that is actually
crazy. It's unheard of. Like, we would think this was like open rank stuff, you know, like 2 years ago it started coming out, you know, those higher 7-star maps started getting pushed into the pools, starting to see approaching 8 stars. Obviously now we have tournaments like the round table that are, you know, pushing the over 8 stars, but still, just to even see maps that are this high star rating, whether or not the star rating's accurate, in a pool for 4 digits, it's getting pretty crazy. The skill cap definitely is just, it's nuts.
I mean, even like the No Mod 3 is 7 stars. Like, that's a No Mod 3. It's an alt map.
Yeah.
We already see early in this map already a lot of misses, mostly on the side of Thailand. I think they have no FCs left. So already some early comfort from South Korea, all on high axe.
Yeah, I think we are going to see a lot of low accuracies on the side of Thailand here for this map. And it's actually going to be Lesbury, Salvatore, Dry Noodle, and Rize. Kind of expecting to see Cheston for this, but I guess not. Maybe not comfortable with the tapping with the VPM.
Now, Chess did say good night in chat. I can't tell if they're joking or they're actually going to bed. Hope they're available, but we'll see as we get further into the match. We can see already some recoveries on the side of Thailand. Lesbury and Rize carrying on, but still advantage South Korea by a pretty solid margin, especially when you consider the AC. I mean, the accuracies are almost doing more than the combos at this point.
The accuracy difference here is ridiculous. It's like a collective a ballpark, like 20% almost difference on accuracy here between the players. Maybe Lesbury offsetting that a bit, maybe more like a 15% difference total, but yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot of accuracy dip here. All the players in South Korea sitting at pretty much 98 and over, which is really impressive considering Lesbury is the only one even close to that on Thailand, and that is going to be another break for Rize, as well as Lesbury and Dry Noodle finding a drop, and Salvatore. There's a 4-way reset for Thailand. Meanwhile, South Korea still holding on to the Seoul FC and a near FC from Mouse player who drops it, but yeah, the 1FC is probably going to be enough here.
Yeah, that is a drop from Athanasia, MX 10,000. Holding still, but I mean, this is already more than enough. Over 800,000 score gap. There is just not enough time as we get a quarter left. The comfort from South Korea on this map as a team is actually kind of insane. So far, everybody's over 400k. The lowest score in South Korea is still a little bit better than the best score in Thailand right now. I think this is a very solid first pick. And what's interesting with these, picking a 10.3 as the first map, if you know you're picking a 10.3 to start off a match, you can be ready for it, but maybe the other team isn't.
Yeah, for sure. You just catch them off guard, insta go into the 10.3, 270 BPM, almost 8-star map, and just go do your best against a team that is not comfortable on speed, that is not comfortable on IAR. And yeah, that is going to be a 1 million point victory for South Korea. Even if there was to be a standout performance on the side of Thailand, even if there was to be an SS, it still wouldn't have even been close.
Look at the miscounts. That ending was just so difficult. I mean, that star rating, DT1 is usually a skill set where the star rating is on the higher end. But I mean, double-digit miscounts from the entirety of Thailand on what is supposedly meant to be one of the easier, more comfortable skill sets in the game just goes to show how difficult the mechanics on that was.
Yeah, I think it's the 270 BPM for sure. It starts to really push what's expected of players on DT in the tournament just in general. When you go from those earlier round kind of 240, 250, it's most people can play it to some extent they can play it, and then you get into these 270 BPM, 7.6 stars, it really starts to push a lot of the players that aren't DT players, as you can see from those 200k scores.
Yeah, for sure. And now it's Thailand's pick. And if you're Thailand, I think there's quite a few good options. I think as you said, they're probably one of the best reading teams left in the tournament. Hidden 3, Nomad 5 look like good options, but maybe South Korea is feeling good on them as well. But Nomad 1, this is an interesting skill set of Thailand, because most teams don't want to pick Nomad 1s. Because the kind of general consensus is everybody can kind of play Nomad 1, but it's hard to get consistent combos, especially on maps this hard. Kirigiri, 7.25 stars. This is very consistently spaced and difficult. But Thailand is a rare team where they have players who are so consistently good at these Nomad 1s. Not even just Lesbury, but even like Salvatore, Phantasma. You have a few players who consistently can push like 600k plus on these kinds of maps, which is very impressive.
Yeah, it's kind of one of the only teams, at least in this tournament so far, that really likes picking that Nomad 1. And yeah, I'm surprised to see them first pick it, but I guess it's just a play of confidence. Go straight into this Nomad 1. And of course, if you know anything about Kirigiri Nomad 1s, 7.2 is probably going to be an understatement. I would expect this to probably, if star rating were to rate it accurately, be closer to around that 7.5 mark, but we'll have to see how the players manage to handle it. This is going to be very brutal, and I imagine it very, very difficult to get any sort of large combo going. So if anyone here can get a huge combo going, there's going to be potential to carry performance off.
Yeah, I think your best bet for combos is going to be hitting the quote-unquote easy sections outside of the key eyes that are still very missable, but relatively more doable. But then as soon as you get into the really consistently spaced sections, if a single player can really get through that, it might be the difference just because of how brutal it gets. I mean, it's almost full screen, 200 BPM, very hard to have those big combos being kept.
Here we go. We're getting into our Nomad 1 in a second here, I assume. But again, we're not going to see chests in the lobby, so I do actually wonder if he's departed from the match here.
I think
he is a very good player.
Yeah, I don't know if chests is here. I know that last week Thailand played Nomad 1 twice, and I think for the second time they swapped in chests over Salvatore, and I think chests did a little bit worse. So I think even assuming chess is here, maybe you still don't play chess, but yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they're not available. We'll have to see in other picks. I think especially when you get into like Nomad 3, if chess isn't there, then That probably means they're not available.
Here we go. Getting into our 7.25 star, quote unquote 7.25 star. Nomad 1 here, 200 BPM. It's going to be almost 4 minutes in length. We are going to have to see if Lesbury can put up another. Oh, insta-casting. I was gonna say, if Lesbury can put up another huge Nomad 1 performance, as he has been doing throughout this tournament for Thailand. But early days, and we've had a reset from Lesbury as well as Salvatore. A couple resets on the side of South Korea as well, but nothing too much to speak of here. Phantasma gets another drop.
I mean, just how brutal this map is. This is the chill part of the song, and there's already been several almost full screen jump sections, and this isn't even the hard part. It's just, but yeah, South Korea with a little bit of an advantage, but it's gonna be this section coming up to see how many people can hold through. You can see those jumps taking out all of the big combos in South Korea other than Kersey.
Yeah, Athanasia and MX are gone. Chaos EY as well is gone. Piper has no combo to speak of. Phantasma drops, Salvatore drops Rize, and it is only Lesbury with the combo. Can he get through the rest of this Ki? He holds on. Hits those last few jumps there at the end of the Ki, but the jumps have not stopped. They are still going. They are still going. And Lesbury is still going. He gets through it. And now he's got a bit of free combo to solidify this lead, although this is still missable, I will say.
Dude, this is still so hard. There's so many big jumps here. This is just, yeah, Kirigiri mapping. You do not really have a break. You can't relax, but Lesbury recovering from that early miss and is holding the biggest combo in the lobby. But everybody else has recovered on the side of both teams, actually. So Lesbury has to hold that combo to secure this point at the stage.
Yeah, everybody in the lobby right now is within 100 combo of each other, except for Lesbury. He's got the only notable combo to speak of. Rize drops, Salvatore drops, Piper, Athanasia, Phantasma, everyone is gone, but Lesbury is still holding onto the combo. How is he doing this? He's the best one player in the tourney.
100%.
MX drops as well. It's just KRZY up against Lesbury right now, but he's got such a combo lead. 400, 300 or so combo advantage. And he's still just going! Why is he going?
Still going! He's broken. I think he's about to break 1,000 combo. He does it. And Kersey drops. It's now just Lesbury with any combo in the match. And I cannot believe this score right now.
Wow. That's unbelievable. How has he just gone and done 1.1k combo on a 7.3 star Kirigiri map? This is more like a 7.6 star.
Yeah, multiply the star rating by like 1.1. This is like, yeah, definitely closer to 8 star than 7 stars. And look at these jumps! Lesbury is still holding. Would this be a reverse choke?
How is he hitting the cross-screen star patterns? No one can get any sort of notable combo going. We've got a couple combos on the board. Rize, Piper are pretty much the only other combos, but Lesbury just has 1,300 combo. And he's still just FCing the entire ending. Rize drops as well. It's only Piper to combat this monstrous performance from Lesbury. And is he going to reverse choke it?
I don't know if there's many big jumps left. I mean, I say that, but some of these jumps are still pretty big. Can Lesbury do it? There it is.
Unbelievable.
The craziest reverse choke. I think one of the first players to miss and just decided they're not doing any of that again. Hits the rest of the map, winning the point for their team. And I actually think South Korea as a team had better scores on, you know, as a format, but Lesbury just making the difference with a bonkers score. So close in FC. Yeah, that is well done.
Yeah, the South Korea's lowest score is actually, well, their lowest score is still on par with Thailand's second highest score. Yeah. So that difference of the Lesbury diff there was, that was enormous. And I think that's kind of what we were talking about before the match. You get into these later stage pools and your star players like Lesbury can pull off FCs on some of these maps where no one is going to get above 500k. And can just carry you over the line, just like Lesbury did. That is a ridiculous score. There's no way anyone's FCing that this weekend. I would be shocked. That's definitely got to be the top score, I think.
Yeah, I'd be stunned if any player beats that. I mean, that is that's probably one of the best, definitely the best no mod 1 performance of the tournament. I think that beats an FC on last week's no mod 1 for sure. That is insane. Missing on like nothing in the intro. But now it's South Korea's second pick, and I think it's kind of clear cut. I think you go for mod 1 or DT3, and then you pick the other one after that. Surely.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. And I think you want to kill Thailand's momentum because they are going to be hype after that one, I think. Everyone's going to be cheering on their teammate for that huge performance. Try and cut them down straight away. Let's go speed. I think that's probably what South Korea should do here. But no, they are instead going to opt for Hard Rock 2.
That is interesting. This map is quite unique. It's kind of similar vein of last week's Hard Rock 2 being a flow aim Hard Rock map. A little bit different. So this is CS 5.9, which the Hard Rock 3 is CS 7. So this Hard Rock pool is pretty small circles. But this is a very gimmicky Hard Rock map. Lots of flow aim, it's kind of like an ult map, lots of snappy and flow aim patterns, but I can't imagine there's going to be too many big combos on a map like this where almost anything is missable.
Yeah, and we are going to see Chests come into the lobby, so he is here. Just wasn't in for that no mod 1. But yeah, like you said, very kind of gimmicky Hard Rock map, and I think, it's why it surprises me is that I think Thailand are going to be fine on something like this. I absolutely think they could breakpoint South Korea here. Although maybe on paper, South Korea is probably the better Hard Rock team. I think Thailand absolutely have a shot at a break point here, and an early one at that, which would be huge because they still have 2 reading maps to pick into after this. So we'll have to see if it works out for South Korea. They, of course, still have the 2 speed picks in the back pocket. But, maybe a risky pick. We'll have to see.
Yeah, maybe. I want to see how South Korea did in Hard Rock 2 last week. I mean, South Korea's Hard Rock 2 scores last week were okay. Ended up losing the pick to a very high score from Yip on the side of Canada, but this is a different kind of map. I think this is one of the situations kind of like the Hidden 2 that got banned. If you have like 2 players who are feeling really good on this and a 3 and 4 who are maybe fine to play it, that just might be enough because you're not going to see many players comfortable on a skill set this niche, like CS 5.9, flow aim, snappy aim, alt Hard Rock. It's very tricky. And also some rhythm in there. There's some like 210 jump scare bursts that kind of can trip you out.
Yeah, I think, like you said, even if like South Korea can do what they did in the DT1 and just get a bunch of 400 to 500Ks, like they're probably going to be fine on this, unless we see some sort of godlike performance again out from Thailand. Maybe on Lespri, maybe on another player. We do have Chests making his debut in this match, so another big name on the side of Thailand. We will have to see. Match is going to be getting underway here. So you can see this kind of map is going to be ridiculous to try and get any sort of high accuracy on.
Yeah, accuracy and combo. And especially accuracy side, there's lots of rhythm changes as well. You can see those are 210 bursts, I believe, on a 140 BPM map. And it's not necessarily that they're fast, it can just be tricky to get the timing on.
Yeah, to consistently maintain accuracy on those. I think those are the kind of patterns where, they're probably going to be pretty easy to combo through, but maintaining the accuracy is going to be a challenge. As we can see, some of the players are up to the task. Lespri, really high accuracy. Salvatore not doing too bad for himself, as well as Mouse Player and Piper. Kind of up there on the accuracies, about 96 plus. But we have had a few breaks in the midst of all of that. Chests and Salvatore are going to drop as well. Phantasma dropping earlier. Joined by Mouse Player and Adip here on the Ki here. Piper finding a miss. It is just MX for South Korea with that 400 combo up against Lespri.
Oh, it's only Lespri.
Again,
it's only
and
Lespri.
He drops. It's just Lespri again, and we're already over halfway through this map. This map is only 2 minutes long. Lespri has the only combo.
Yeah, this is exactly what you were saying. This is a potential breakpoint if Thailand has a player like Lespri getting massive combo, and Lespri's doing it. The score has now refreshed, and we can see it's going to slowly turn to Thailand as long as Lespri can hold. but it might be a tall order because the ending of this map can be very, very tricky to get to. Shaking a little bit, but still combos.
He's hitting it. His accuracy as well is just ridiculous. He's hitting everything, and it's flickered. No, it hasn't flickered. It hasn't flickered. How much worse Thailand's other 3 players are doing in comparison to South Korea. Lespri finds a miss. It's 20k, 10k at the end. There's no combo to speak of. It's only Piper. I think South Korea are going to close this out unless they tank some score at the ending here. Oh, it's not enough from Lespri. Oh my god.
I mean, a really, really solid effort from Lespri. Getting 700k on that is absolutely insane. But the team comfort from South Korea, their worst score being 360k, almost matching Thailand's second best score. Chess just not being super comfortable. Made the difference. And this is really just shows you can have a player like Lespri who is so good at so many maps, can have these pop-off performances, but it is a team game. You need that overall team comfort, and that's what South Korea went for, and it paid off.
Yeah, and they just did the same thing they did on DT1. Like I said before, if they were to get, a bunch of 400k scores, they'd probably be okay. And that's exactly what they did. They had 4 players that were comfortable on the map, and they managed to put up consistent scores. No one had a crazy score, but it was enough to pull them over the line by about 70, 80k or so. And Lespri, despite his best efforts there to carry Thailand, was slightly not enough, just barely, but still a ridiculous score, and it arguably will be one of the top scores on that map as well this week. I can't see a world where anyone FCs the ending of that map, so Lespri playing out of his mind.
I mean, I can imagine the nerves at the ending. Every single pattern, you have to be so stable, and the shakes. So even from a player like Lespri. But it is now Thailand's pick. So they started with the No Mod 1. Now, I wonder what you go for. Honestly, Hidden 1, I don't think is a bad option at all. You have No Mod 3 as well. Thailand is a really strong No Mod 3 team. I think both of those maps are, No Mod 3 is like 310 BPM, I think, on the higher end of the alt BPM. Hidden 1, almost 260 on the lower end of the alt BPM, but I think still both maps that you can go for.
Yeah, I think Hidden 1 is possibly even a better pick for Thailand than No Mod 1 was. I think Hidden 1 at some point is probably going to be really good, and you've still got those reading maps, No Mod 5, Hidden 3. Thailand maybe a little bit scared to go into South Korea on reading, because they aren't a bad reading team by any means, but they are going to pick the No Mod 5. So we are going to be getting greedy here. AR8, about 3 minutes in length.
Yeah, CS5 AR8, you know what's funny about this map? I mean, it's SR 6.45. If this map was a normal approach rating, it would still be pretty difficult. Some of these patterns are just mechanically hard, but you slap on AR8 and it just becomes a whole different beast. Lots of tricky reading, 1/4 spacing. It is 134 BPM, so not on the highest BPM side. Still lots of really precise aim control patterns at this approach rating. Can't imagine too many players are going to get very high combos on a map like this.
Yeah, I would be shocked to see if South Korea could field a 4-man roster here that are all comfortable on something like this. Thailand, on the other hand, I can definitely see it. They're probably one of the few teams left in the tournament that would still have 4 capable players on a map like this. We are going to be having Salvatore come in, kind of their low AR kind of goat on Thailand. Really good at low AR, and Hidden coming in for the No Mod 5, and joined by Lespri, of course. Chest's probably going to be staying in the lobby, and I would imagine Phantasma for the 4th. Going to have KLZ, Y, MX, Adapir, and Comet coming in, I think, for their first map of the match.
Yeah, I believe so. And this is a map Thailand can't be too relaxed on. South Korea has performed well on No Mod 5s before, but I think this is definitely a step up in terms of difficulty. So if Thailand has a good 4 for this, I think very few teams are going to be able to have a comfortable 4 for a map this difficult.
Yeah, I'm definitely expecting a Thailand edge here for this No Mod 5, but I wouldn't put it out of the question for South Korea to get a break point. There is possibility of someone just popping off on the side of South Korea and pulling in a carry performance for them. I think overall comfort and overall score consistency is almost always probably going to be favored in the side of Thailand on a map like this. But, you know, there's absolutely a possibility for South Korea to still break point regardless.
Yeah, I think it's kind of similar to Hard Rock too. It's like South Korea could have a pop-off performance, sort of how Lespri did on Hard Rock 2, but I imagine Thailand will have a better floor. And you can see already that pattern. That was a random speed up out of nowhere, going from like 1/4 to 1/6, something like that. Just gets right into it and lots of misses from the get-go.
Bit of a client pause.
Bit of a...
Hopefully...
It's a pretty long
we gonna
pause.
play? Hello? There we go.
Welcome back.
There we go. Alright. So, early on, bunch of people dropping combos on those early patterns, but probably not going to make too much of a difference. It's 3 minutes long, and seems fairly dense for the most part. So probably a lot of objects in a map like this.
Look at the accuracies, lots of act drops, but at the same time, when you have a map at this approach rating and difficulty that also has rhythm changes, it's probably maybe even harder to attack than the Hard Rock 2.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, depending on the type of player you are, but I think ultimately, yeah, I would kind of agree with that. Like these patterns right here, those spaced linear, like, were they 1/4? I couldn't even tell, but
I don't even know. I don't even know what.
Yeah, they looked
at
really
time
hard
signatures
to
a lot
act.
of these patterns are.
And this is just ridiculous to combo, but we've got all of Thailand holding on. It's just KRZY and Comet on the side of South Korea that have any sort of combo up against the 4 combos of Thailand. Adapir finds another miss. KRZY as well. It's just Comet for South Korea, but Thailand have 4 combos through that hard section.
Yeah, I mean, other than a few very early misses, this is a crazy team performance right now. Comet and Kersey dropping, I mean, this is just one-sided on Thailand right now. They could afford 3 drops and I think still be in the lead by quite a margin.
This is a ridiculous performance. Chess finds a break, but it was a really hard pattern, to be fair. Everyone else on Thailand hits it. They just look so comfortable on these 1/3s, just all reading it perfectly.
Thailand, I mean, this is a lot more one-sided than I expected it to be, and I don't think it's from South Korea not being able to play. This is still a solid lineup from South Korea. These are solid scores considering the difficulty, but Thailand is doing something else right now. Still 3 really big combos. Phantasma and Lespri drops. It's still only Salvatore, but Salvatore is basically on an FC, I believe, or a reverse choke, and still holding on.
Oh my god.
Does break, but I mean, a 500k score difference. This should be done.
That was such a fair misread. Just an overlap on top of a burst. And again, more overlaps here. So much to remember in a map like this. Unless you're just, you know, a god at reading. But yeah, this is a very, very insane performance from Thailand. And dare I say, probably the top score of the weekend on this map. That is a ridiculous team performance to have 3 players over 500k on something like that. And they take that one by pretty convincing 470k or so. That is a crazy team performance. I think anything over 400k on a map like that is definitely really, really solid.
Yeah, really solid pick from Thailand. And South Korea could play it, but just not as well. I think mostly it was Comet and Kersey as the most comfortable players, but yeah, well done from Thailand. And now South Korea goes straight into Hard Rock 3 from Hard Rock 2. Now, Hard Rock 2 was pretty close, but the only reason it was close was from a ridiculous performance from Lespri. Overall, South Korea was a lot stronger as a team. So I think they're banking on the fact that they're just better as a team on Hard Rock, and they just hope that Lespri doesn't FC, and they should be fine.
Yeah, I think overall they should be fine. We're definitely going to need to see a standout performance for Thailand yet again to make this one close. But, you know, it's interesting South Korea is kind of keeping those speed picks in the back pocket. Just still remember that they have DT3 and Free Mod 1 to pick. And that, in my eyes, is almost 2 guaranteed points. Of course, it's never 100%, but South Korea are a much better speed team over Thailand. They can have a much stronger 4 and stuff like that. We saw it on the DT1, and that wasn't even pushing the bounds of what South Korea can do on speed. So Yeah, I'm definitely scared for Thailand on those speed maps. South Korea opting to hold them till later in the match. They're going to go for Hard Rock 3, another riskier pick here. It's going to be the CS7 this time around. I believe this is the first Hard Rock 3 we've had this tournament that's above 6.5, right?
I believe so. I think it's all been 6.5 at this point. So yeah, big step up to CS7. And yeah, as you said, it honestly did mention that it's maybe good to pick those one-sided maps earlier, but at the same time, on the other end, you have the team mental when you know, you're kind of, instead of going to 7 points, you're sort of going to 5 because you feel like you really have those last 2 picks down. Especially when you saw Thailand's performance on something like the DT3 last week. I think it was kind of only Lesbury as a really comfortable player, while South Korea having several really solid performances, getting an over 3 million team score. And the speed this week goes from difficult to like kind of insane. I mean, the DT3 is absolutely bonkers on the stamina. I believe it's like 7.7 stars. And you have the free mod 1, which is also just really, really fast. Thailand might only have like Lesbury who can really play those kinds of maps. And then South Korea, even if they just have 2 or 3, it's going to be more than enough. So they still have those maps in their back pocket. But getting into Hard Rock 3, yeah, I mean, small circle, conventional map.
Yeah, I mean, I still would be scared of someone like Lesbury on a map like this. Kind of, we're going for that more conventional small circle map. The aim consistency is there for Lesbury. We saw it on the Nomad 1. And we saw the precision consistency on the Hard Rock 2. So, is he up to the task yet again to try and get another breakpoint? Well, get the first breakpoint rather for Thailand, or is someone else on the side of Thailand gonna step up and go off on this map? We are gonna have Yorochi. I hope I didn't pronounce it. I hope I didn't butcher that completely. Yorochi stepping in for their first map here of the match.
Yep, and I mean, with a map like this, even patterns that look comfortable or free at CS7, there's no free combo. There's no pattern that you can just be super confident on hitting. You have to be focused the entire way through. I mean, a lot of these bursts, which in editor at CS, whatever the normal CS is, look pretty comfortable. CS7, I mean, it's pretty brutal.
Oh, that's
gonna be the first on Thailand.
Maybe. Yeah, that looks like a very strange miss. And one he's probably scratching his head about, but yeah, we are almost already halfway through this map. This map is about the same length as the Hard Rock 2, so 2 minutes. Adapir finds a drop right before the Kiai here. MX
no FCs
also
left.
found a drop. Piper, Kelsey, why? No one has combo. Literally no one is above 50 combo.
I mean, yeah,
a couple players are now, but well.
CS7 at over 7 stars, like getting any significant combo is so brutal. And now it's just gonna be any scraps of just getting low miscount and good ac. Basically, when nobody can combo, it's just miscount and accuracy.
And the accuracy for Thailand is fairly good. They are putting up quite the battle on AC. There's a couple players on South Korea that are kind of outdoing them. Adapir and Piper kind of up there on the 97s, but overall, Thailand not doing too bad on this accuracy. Breaks just left and right. Impossible to commentate every single one at this point. So many breaks, just constantly. Lesbury has about 150 combo up against the 100 combo from MX here, but he just immediately drops it, and it's already a 200,000 lead from South Korea. And there's just no map left.
You can see Piper going above 400k now, with up there with the best act in the lobby, as well as Adapir. And this is once again a situation where overall as a team, I think they're just more comfortable on Hard Rock as a skill set. Yeah, just solid scores overall. Now that I think about it, I think this was actually a really good pick, because you've Hard Rock 2, where you had a better team performance, but almost lost it to Lesbury getting a very high combo. But that map looked just impossible to get a big combo unless you're a freak at small circles. So yeah, maybe a better choice than Hard Rock 2, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, if there was a map that Lesbury needed to carry on, it was definitely that one. And if he could have pulled off a similar score as he did on Hard Rock 2, he probably could have breakpointed there. But like you said, I think it definitely was a more difficult map over Hard Rock 2. And that's saying something, because Hard Rock 2 looked ridiculous as well. So Yeah, probably one of the harder maps in the pool would be my guess on that Hard Rock 3, but it's going to be the Hidden One, which we talked about earlier, and I think this is a fantastic pick for Thailand.
Yeah, it's hidden aim. I think Thailand is a good hidden team, it's a good aim team, but it's also a good ult team, and the BPM on this map is much closer to an ult map than a standard aim map. You might have some people who are really, really fast at single tapping who could ignore ulting, but I would actually be surprised if anyone is feeling that comfortable. It's more like an ult map, and yeah, completely in Thailand's wheelhouse. I wouldn't be surprised if people in South Korea can play it. I mean, most of these jump patterns are pretty comfortable in terms of their patterns, but I think Thailand is just going to be so much more comfortable on this map as a team.
Yeah, for sure. I think Hidden One is kind of a staple of Thailand. They're very, very good at hidden, they're very, very good at aim. And like you mentioned, kind of moving into that kind of ult territory with the BPM, they're very, very good at no mod 3s as well. So definitely something I think they should be on paper much more comfortable on over South Korea. But we will have to see. It is an aim map, and we know what can happen on aim maps. Sometimes you just miss in the middle. Sometimes you miss it 1/3 and 2/3 and you get 360k, and it just is what it is. So we'll have to see if anyone South Korea can put up some huge performances for them to get the first break point of the match.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I feel like that's normally the case with a lot of one slots, other than like DT1, where I think the speed element gives teams a bigger edge. But Thailand is just this exception where they always seem to have either Lespri or even some of the other players just get a big combo. I think this is where you get to a point where the maps are so difficult where you can't really accidentally get a big score. You can definitely high roll, but if you want to get a really big combo on maps this difficult, you kind of just have to be good enough to play them, and not many people are.
Well, we'll have to see if Lespri is again for Thailand, or if someone else will step up for them. We do have the core 4 for Thailand here coming in, at least what I would say the core 4 is probably their 4 strongest players here. Lespri, Chess, Phantasma, and Salvatore in for the Hidden One. Up against MX, Comet, Mouseplayer, and Athanasia.
Yeah, you can see this map plays a lot more like a No Mod 3 than a you know, No Mod 1 type map. But still, it's hidden. It's AR 9.6, which is on the higher side of AR for hiddens, but the density is still really high just because of the high BPM. So the hidden rating is still very, very important for a map like this, even though most of the patterns are pretty comfortable.
Did Lespri miss the first circle on purpose? I'm not sure.
Wait, did he? Was it Banshee? I think the combo was...
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no,
right?
I think it's fine.
I think it was me, Banshee, because I know somebody on South Korea looked like they missed the first time, but I think that's just Banshee.
Yeah, probably. Everyone holding to a combo though. We got an 8-way in the lobby, and everyone appears to be... No. Comet is single tapping. I believe everyone else seems to be alternating.
Oh my god. I thought it's, I mean, definitely a possibility. This is a BPM where you will still have fast players. MX 10,006 dropping gonna be the first one, but yeah. Good speed from Comet.
Comet, yeah, alternating the sliders, but single tapping all of the jumps. Pretty impressive stuff. Still the 4-way for Thailand. Athanasia going to be finding a drop for South Korea as well. 2 FCs, 2-4 now in the favor of Thailand. Phantasma drops, Salvatore drops, and that evens it out now. 2-2. And South Korea are now going to take back the lead with those combo advantages. Maybe not anymore, especially with that drop from Comet. That's going to be a Seoul FC up against Lespri and Chests for Thailand.
1-2 and Mouseplayer dropping. It's now only 2 big combos from Thailand. Now this is a long map. It's 4 minutes 42 seconds. This might be the longest map in the pool other than the tiebreaker. So you still have to hold on for a little bit longer, but as time passes, these combos are just going to do so much work, and South Korea is going to need to recover quickly to have a chance of taking this point. Lespri dropping.
Missed on nothing? What was that? That was just like a slider. Okay.
And now it's only Chests, and the only reason that's a bit concerning is Chest is on the lowest accuracy. Oh, okay, never mind. No.
Okay, I was gonna say that looked like a ridiculous slider break, but yeah, he's gonna be holding on to the combo. Lespri and Chess still going strong for Thailand, and is almost in the realm of. It is almost in the realm of secured, I think. I mean, we still have a bit of the map left. About a minute 40 remaining or so, maybe a bit longer, and they've still got 2 FCs on the board and have already accumulated about 300k of a score lead. Phantasma and Salvatore drop, but they are not the combos that matter for Thailand. The 2 FCs still on the board, up against Mouse Player, really, with the only notable combo on South Korea.
Yeah, I think it is probably done. The only way Lespri could miss on a hidden one is if Bancho trolled. That's literally...
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not actually happening for real. And I almost find it more impressive a player like Chest getting some act drops, maybe not as comfortable, but still holding such a big combo. Really, yeah, it's a combo game, and Chest is playing it.
He really is playing it. 93% FC right now. You can see the 130k score difference between Chests and Lespri because of the act, but Chests finally finds a miss at the last, eighth of the map. Lespri still holding on to this FC, and the map is more than over, but we will have to see if Lespri can close out an FC and put up another monstrous score. His match cost right now has to be... It is
at the moon right now. This is probably approaching 3 at this rate.
Yeah,
this is
ridiculous. Oh, the stream! What is that? What is that pattern? What is that pattern? So many players hit it, which was surprising, and Lespri hits it with the FC, drops a bunch of 100s, but still the FC through to the ending. Lespri just not even shaking! Oh my god, what is that? He hit it! How did he hit that?
Please FC.
Oh my god, how did he hit that pattern?
I have just built different hitting that last stream.
Oh my god! Those streams are so hard, so deceptively difficult on a hidden one like this. Lespri just hits everything, man.
Yeah. Lespri is on the match of the tournament right now. The performance here is crazy from Lespri. Almost FCing No Mod 1, almost FCing Hard Rock 2 and breakpointing it, and now FCing Hidden 1. Absolutely absurd. I mean, clutching up on that last stream, dropping the act, but hitting it regardless, I can't believe it. Best act in the lobby as well. Yeah, crazy.
I think Chests and Lespri just 2v4'd. So quite the convincing pick from Thailand there on the hidden one. And we said it was a good pick for them. It sure as hell was. Lespri just doing what Lespri does on a map like that. South Korea got to be frightened of him at this point, I think.
Yeah.
You're starting to worry about, aside from the 2 speed picks that are left, you're starting to worry when thinking about other picks, is Lespri going to FC this against us? It's definitely going through the minds of South Korea right now.
Yeah, it is interesting. Other than the speed maps, you still have to win 2 picks that are yours, assuming you don't get breakpoints. And as the map pool narrows down, a lot of these maps are looking like breakpoint potential if Lespri pops off. You have Hard Rock 1, you have No Mod 2, No Mod 3. I don't know. I mean, I would say Lespri is not as as good of a low AR player as he is a aim player. But if you pick Hidden 3,
absolutely.
I mean, then Thailand just has a really good team for that. So I don't think you go for that either. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if, as South Korea picks some of these maps that aren't the speed maps, if Lespri can pop off. But
it's interesting, isn't it? Because Lespri is his weakest skill set is probably what his team is best at. Which is funny. Let's pick low AR into Thailand because Lespri's popping off, so let's target his weakest skill set, and he's still good at it regardless. And the rest of his team is just nuts at low AR. But it is finally going to be the speed pick coming out for South Korea. And I think this is a smart choice, a smart time to go into these speed picks because I don't know what else they pick confidently at this point.
Yeah, I think you have to go for this. You can't risk picking something that could be breakpointed when Lespri is on such a hot streak right now. I think this is just a map South Korea as a team is so strong, and I don't think Thailand has anybody who can play speed at this level. And this is a brutal speed map, as well as a weird pseudo A map. It's 9.7 at 262 BPM. That puts it at roughly the same density at Hidden 1, obviously without Hidden. But some of the aim here isn't free, but it just kind of comes down to the brutal speed sections and some of the triple spam where you need to be really, really fast. Double tappable though, I will say. If somebody on Thailand is feeling the dark method, maybe they can get some score.
7.74 stars, by the way. I will put that down to star rating rework, probably.
For WC finals round, and we almost have an 8-star map, not even in grand finals. Yeah. I can't wait to see what's in grand finals with how insane this pool already is. But that just goes to show you like the competition level. Because a lot of these players, we've seen multiple FCs, like people can play these maps. So clearly it's not too hard, it's just players are too good.
It's pretty ridiculous. I think some of that I'd put down to the star rating rework, kind of buffing speed quite a lot. But you know, it's still pretty nuts to see that we would possibly see an 8-star speed map in the grand finals pool. We will have to see. It would be pretty insane if there was. But yeah, here we go. DT3 going to be getting into it, and this is definitely one of those picks where even if Lespri or another player on Thailand is to get a really, really good score, I think South Korea's scores are going to be quite high all round on a map like this. They are very, very good at speed and DT consistency. So yeah, I'm not giving Thailand too much of a chance on this one, I think, going into it. Of course it's possible, but yeah, I think South Korea are more than heavily favored on something like this.
Yeah, I think as the map ramps up, it's a relatively relaxed intro, but it's going to take a miracle performance from Thailand to get into the speed. Going to see how difficult these are, and so far South Korea looking pretty comfortable. I mean, like MX 10,000, I think under tapping that stream, but otherwise pretty solid accuracy. Now it's just only Lespri and Chess for the side of Thailand. Everybody hitting those triples. That's 4 consecutive 262 BPM triples.
Yes, pretty good stuff here from South Korea. The 4-way still intact. And Lespri, pretty much the only strong score for Thailand. Chess did have an FC, finally drops it, but I mean, Chess had an 88% accuracy, so definitely wasn't doing him any favors. 2 drops for South Korea though. Mouse Player and Athanasia are going to be dropping, and MX as well finds a miss, so now it's Lespri versus Piper, but Piper misses, but I was just about to say, I really don't think it's going to matter. I don't know.
I think
like,
you're
maybe
right.
if Lespri FCs and his team doesn't Giga Troll, then it might be doable, but I mean, it's a lot of score to make up.
It is a lot. I think right now Lespri FCing wouldn't even make the score difference. I think it has to be a good performance from his teammates, but I mean, everybody on South Korea over 400k is another instance of team comfort, most likely going to make the difference. Lespri is still holding, but there's just no combo on his team. It's not going to be enough. It's going to be like a Hard Rock 2 once again, where Lespri absolutely has a crazy performance, almost FCing the map, getting the best score in the lobby by quite a margin, but once again, it is a team game. It is 4v4, and South Korea had the better speed team.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of those instances there where, you know, Rize had a combo going into that ending as well. You know, Rize would have had to hold that combo. Lespri had to hold the FC, and then we had to see some breaks from South Korea to stop that score gain. And it possibly would have been enough, but, you know, with what we ended up with, it was about a 200k difference, so it didn't really end up being that close. And yeah, South Korea just, I mean, you're so confident picking these speed picks when you know that even if Lespri were to FC, you still win. Like, you got to be pretty confident going into Free Mod 1 as their next pick as well. His match cost right now has to be just. I
just checked. It's 3. It is a
what, 3 what?
3.0 on the dot at this point in the match. Piper the second highest on 2.21. Literally insane.
Yeah, this is just ridiculous stuff. Because even on the maps they're losing, Lespri's just top scoring the lobby. I think the only map he hasn't top scored the lobby, like the entire lobby on so far, was Hard Rock 3, right? I think he's top scored every other map. Actually, no, hidden. No, not hidden. Sorry,
the Nomad 5. Yeah,
Nomad 5 as well. Yes. Nomad 5 and Hard Rock 3. Everything else, I think he's top scored.
Yeah, and on some of these maps by quite a margin. Yeah, insane performance right now. And it's kind of I feel like it's keeping the hope. Like, there's still a potential for a breakpoint. We haven't seen a breakpoint yet. So far, every team has just won their map. And now Thailand going for the hidden 3. I think this is one of the maps remaining where Thailand is just overall stronger as a team, for sure. I think you have this and, no mod 3 and free mod 2 for Thailand. That's maybe their picks.
Yeah, and this is a must-win for Thailand, I would say. Although they do have a couple of the good picks in this pool that I will mention in a sec, but, Thailand loses this, South Korea go up 5-3, and then they pick 3 mod 1, and it's probably 6-3 at that point. In saying that, Thailand do have a couple of the good picks in this pool, and kind of a deceptively good pick in that no mod 2. I think Thailand is a really good no mod 2 team, and as well as that no mod 3, I think is also probably a great pick for them. So, going off the back of this hidden 3, Thailand still have no mod 3 to go for. So, converting this one is going to be very important for them. South Korea probably going to pick that 3 mod 1, and then, yeah, I'd imagine the score would be 5-4 at that point. Thailand, with the opportunity to convert again. Probably no mod 3, no mod 2 are their future picks after this.
Yeah, I think you definitely go, imagine, assuming they win this pick, which I think they have the stronger team for it, South Korea picks 3 mod 1, wins their pick. Thailand goes no mod 3, assuming they win their pick, it's going to be 5-5, and I think at that point, South Korea is out of very dominant picks, and they have to go for niche skill sets, or skill sets that Thailand would be good on. If we get to that stage in the match, it's going to be very interesting because South Korea will have to fight for their last point.
This song is just very pleasant. I love this.
Yeah, I love
Night of McDonald's.
Love Night of McDonald's. The Ronald McDonald special.
6.2 stars on an AR8 reading map.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a normal star rating for an AR8 reading map with just really uncomfortable patterns.
What is this background, man? What is going on here? I need the lore. I need the backstory.
I wish I had the context for this, but I am just as confused as you are. This is the classic Night of Nights beat that we're probably all very familiar with. Did everybody read that
anyone who's spammed it, anyone who's spammed Night of Nights in the past is probably gonna have a pretty good time on something like this, where I'm assuming a lot of the rhythms are just kind of the same in the patterns.
Most likely.
We'll have to see. It definitely still just looks ridiculous regardless. Oh no, some of these patterns are definitely not like the original Night of Nights maps.
Yeah,
with the rhythms on them. Yeah.
Some of these rhythms are horrific, and so far Thailand with 2 FCs up against no FCs on South Korea. Phantasma and Salvatore both holding on with really good acts. Phantasma's on 98, Salvatore's on 96, the 2 highest accuracies in the lobby. I am worried that Phantasma can act this well, but everybody just dropped on the side of Thailand. Never mind. Everybody died there at the same time, and that's only Comet and Lugiol. 10,006 with a combo.
This is actually now looking possible for a Flicker. We're about halfway through. Comet and MX have pretty big combos. MX finds a drop. It's just Comet, but it is going to be enough from Comet to flicker this score. Very, very slowly, it is going to come over. But
ooh, there's
Thailand. Yeah. Comet needs to hold on. These patterns are just so ridiculous, man. Some of these spaced linears. And yeah, that is going to be the flicker. Comet is doing enough here for South Korea. These doubles is just a reading slaughterhouse right here. And everyone is managing to get through them relatively well. Chess, Lesbury, Phantasma all find drops. And Comet found a break. So that is going to be Salvatore now with the biggest combo in the lobby. He will start to pull things back over. There's another break.
Oh,
you didn't want to be nervous. Salvatore now knows.
The match is in Salvatore's hands right now. The biggest scorer in the lobby, holding pretty good accuracy. They need to hold on, though, for the score to flicker and maintain. Look at these patterns.
Oh my god! It's flickered! We're approaching like the last 10th of the map here, and it's a 15k lead for Thailand. Salvatore misses! That's KRZY and Comet with the combos up against only Phantasma. It is enough for South Korea to bring the lead back over. Phantasma has to hold for Thailand if there's any chance of them taking their own pick. And no, I think South Korea have done it.
I think
South Korea have done it. Oh, 30k.
Oh, that is a gut-wrenching breakpoint if you're Thailand. I think it was only Salvatore and Phantasma who could really play that. Lesbury and Chess just not as comfortable, but South Korea having a better four-man once again and just edging it out right near the end. And Kurzi and Comet had to hit that crazy linear jump pattern to get through it. So I guess a well-deserved breakpoint, but still so close. It's got to be a tilter if you're Thailand. Yeah, got to keep the mental in check after that.
So gut-wrenching for Salvatore as well. I think knowing that if he just held for an extra couple seconds, they probably would have won. When he had that big combo. So definitely, it was just such a bad spot for the break. Like to see that you needed to hold on right there and then, knowing that the match is possibly on the line for that, because you know South Korea is going to instantly pick 3-mod-1 right after that. That definitely, very brutal for Thailand. They're looking at a possible 6-3 down here.
Yeah, I mean, this 3-mod-1, Lesbury had a really solid performance on DT3, but this is, DT3, while more of a speed map, this is just stamina, just brutal stamina. 7.59 stars, no mod. I am sorry for whatever player has to do this hard rock. Somebody's gonna have to go for that direction. I think in some of the previous weeks, you put like a strong player on hard rock, you can really play it. I honestly think at this stage, you just put your worst player on hard rock, have them tank the score, hopefully get some good no-mod scores, and pray that's enough.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really see a world where Thailand managed to take this pick, I'm gonna be honest. This is kind of just one of those unfortunate ones for them. South Korea are definitely poised to take this to match point, and I don't think there's much Thailand can do about that.
You know, I do think after this pick, the remaining picks are nowhere near as clear-cut as these speed picks have been. So I think Thailand is still, like, they're still in this match, even though it'll most likely be 6-3 after this. They have a lot of potential with the remaining maps. So yeah, keep your head high and I guess do your best on the speed map, see if something good can come of it. But yeah, 240 BPM stamina is just not very easy.
I'm just waiting on the fourth here for Thailand. But yeah, I mean, Thailand losing this one, which is looking likely, they've still got a couple good picks remaining. Mind you, how many more picks will they have if they lose this one?
2. I think it's going to be 2 on Thailand.
More picks. Yeah, they still have 2 more picks remaining in the match if they want to pull this back to tiebreaker. So, you know, they've still got the number 3, which looks pretty good for them, and then they're gonna have to take a break point. And then it's going to be up to what they want to go for as their last pick, which, you know, still think no mod 2 is still not terrible for a team like Thailand either.
Yeah, I think between, you know, no mod 3 definitely as a pick, and then you have free mod 2 maybe as a CS1 ult map. CS1
free mod 2 is a good choice.
Yeah, like free mod 2 and then maybe no mod 2. I hope we maybe get to see free mod 2 at some point. It's funny that it's CS1 because that's a CS you normally can't set on a map. It usually only allows you to go to CS2. You actually have to change it in the files to go to CS1. But yeah,
really?
Here's the free mod 1. Yeah. Big stream coming up right here. Nobody hitting it, but smack drops already.
I mean, hey, if there's a world where Thailand break points on this, then I want to be living in it. Because
yeah,
it would be cool to see this go 5-4 and Thailand to follow it up with a pick of their own. It's starting to look like tiebreaker territory if Thailand can break point on something like this. We have seen a break from Rize and Dry Noodle for Thailand. Dry Noodle recovering quite well. Hyper found a miss for South Korea, and so did MX, but MX recovering quite well. Two FCs to 2 here. South Korea with a slight lead moving into this section. And this is just an onslaught of stamina at 240 BPM. Rize finding another break, as well as Dry Noodle. Hyper finds a miss. Athanasia finds a miss. That's one of the FCs gone for South Korea. And now it is Chess and Lespri. Everyone missed on South Korea. Chess and Lespri are holding the FCs. Chess finds a miss. And it's down to the man himself yet again. Lespri with the only combo and a 99% as he hits that stream. And now he sees it. The scoreboard. He knows it is his chance to finally convert a breakpoint after carrying so many of the opponent's picks in this match so far. Can he finally carry one that actually matters and get the breakpoint? He is holding 570k, 580k, and he is still going into the last quarter of this map, holding on through all of these bus sliders, all of these streams. Lespri, he's just going off right now.
The savior of Thailand right now. You know, most men after a break, seeing the scoreboard, knowing you're the only hope, they get nervous, they miss, but Lespri is not one of them. Still holding on. I believe Thailand has already won this point, taking back the break point, and now Lespri is going to FC the 7.59 star free mod 1. Wow.
Lespri doesn't get nervous when he sees himself FCing at the break. He is fueled by it. He sees that he needs to carry, and he is fueled beyond belief. He just goes, and he just goes dark. And just 98% FCs that, just destroying everyone else in the lobby. It's not even close. No one else was even close to Lespri there. And they won that with a 160k score. They still won by over 200k.
And I think there as well, Lespri did FC, but a little bit better performance from his team than the DT3. Chess with a very solid 450k on the hidden. Dry Noodle with 300k on the Hard Rock. That is not a bad score. How difficult that map is with Hard Rock. I think it ended up making the difference because if all of Thailand tanked other than Lespri, I think it might have still flipped to South Korea, but Thailand doing enough as a team, and Lespri with the bonkers FC. It is now an even game going into Thailand's second last pick.
I am speed, Lespri says in the chat. Indeed you are, sir. 98% on that is pretty nuts. With the amount of buzz sliders in between those streams as well, it just seemed so brutal to act. But
yeah,
I mean, he just does it. He just does it again and again and again. Every single map, this match that isn't low AR, he has top scored aside from out of 3.
Yeah.
He is just, it's just ridiculous.
I think this is definitely the performance of the tournament right now. I don't think anybody has played at this level. Part of it is just the pool being hard enough where you can really show your skill cap, but even then, it's still just insane how diverse of a skill set on aim, on still performing pretty well on rating, and then just being a speed monster right now. But yeah, they go for Nomad 3. This is the expected pick from Thailand. Thailand is a really strong Nomad 3 country. You had Hidden 1, which was a pseudo Nomad 3 map, doing really well on it. I think this is another one of those picks where Thailand as a team is just better, on top of Lespri being on something else right now. I think you can rely on the full team to get some pretty big scores. On a 7-star Nomad 3. 7-star on a Nomad 3 in 4WC finals is absolutely crazy.
Not even grands. Not even grands. 7-star Nomad 3. Yeah, this is kind of ridiculous, to be honest. Man, Lespri's match cost right now.
Yeah.
This is the kind of stuff you see. This is the kind of stuff you see when you see Malashevsky play in a for fun tournament with some random players on his team, and he just goes off and carries everything. This is the kind of stuff you see on those sorts of match costs where you see Malashevsky over 3, and it's just Lespri just absolutely dominating right now. No one can stand up to just how good he is playing. On the side of South Korea, we've got people playing pretty consistently well across the board, but I mean, what do you do against just the monster that is Lespri right now? Are going to be going Nomad 3, and this map is looking pretty good for Thailand. They are a very, very good ult team.
Yeah, I think this roster, Lespri, Phantasm, Salvatore, Chest, this Nomad 3 team is super, super scary. I mean, this is one of the strongest Nomad 3 teams, I think, in the tournament. Saving a really, really solid pick near the end. Thailand, other than the hidden 3, which ended up being pretty close, they've been pretty solid on most of their picks. But, after this, I think South Korea are going to have to pull something out of the bag, because you have Hard Rock 1 to go for as South Korea, which as a stronger Hard Rock team, they've won both of the Hard Rocks, but I think that's a map, Hard Rock 1, generic aim. You better have somebody on South Korea who can get a really big combo, because you need to look for Lespri as a threat. Getting into the Nomad 3, 155 BPM, 310, equivalent, just really, really difficult. But other than that, it is the Nomad 3 you'd expect, some flow aim, some snappy aim, and we're into it.
Man, knowing this is 7 stars, you can just tell how difficult a map like this is going to be. This is kind of like... It feels like with some of these more longer linear patterns, it kind of just feels like Space Streams, like with how high the BPM is.
Yeah, I mean, 155, like some Nomad 2s go down to like 160, 170, so this is bordering Nomad 2 low-end BPM. Now we see a drop from Lespri, so no FC again, but Salvatore and Chests holding the 2 biggest combos, as well as Phantasma, so just the team score from Thailand looking so strong right now. South Korea kind of struggling.
Yeah, I mean, Lespri actually the only one to really fumble for Thailand so far this match, and it's a bit of a change of speed. So we are seeing the rest of Thailand step up yet again, as they did on a couple of the other maps. Nomad 5 specifically, but Salvatore finds a miss, but it's Chests and Phantasma. They are there to support Thailand. Phantasma finds a miss, Chests finds a miss. Okay, now it's back to Lespri to take the helm. Go back to the helm, take the wheel again, Lespri, please.
Yeah.
As
Uh-oh.
No one has a combo, but I mean, Thailand already have such a huge lead, and no one has a combo in the lobby.
They have a pretty big lead, a accuracy lead as well. I think this overall comfort. I mean, a 7-star, like Nomad 3 is known as a skill set where it's just really hard to be consistent. And when you're at this level of mechanics, you just can't expect a lot of really big combos, and it's just going to come down to comfort. Sort of like the Hard Rock 3 for South Korea. There's a similar situation. But, South Korea, like, all it takes is Adipur and MX 10,000 to have some crazy combos, and maybe they can pull this back.
Yeah, it's not looking completely doomed for South Korea, although it is a tall mountain to climb. Lespri's got a 350 combo. Adipur drops one of the big combos for South Korea, so it is just MX now. MX 10,000, there are 2 of them. With the 550 combo, both MXs break. Everyone dropping, it is just Lespri and Chests again, and they've already got over a 200,000 point lead. I think that Thailand have probably done enough here to secure their second last pick of the match.
Yeah, I mean, 200,000, normally not a huge score lead, but when the scores are this low, 200,000 is like having another player on your team at this point. So, yeah, this should be enough. I mean, no combos from anyone really. MX 10,000 Mass Play have a bid, but just don't think there's enough time to really take it back for South Korea on this. Thailand just stops playing. Everybody dropping on this insane ending. I mean, yeah, there's too much of a tall order.
No combos. It's only Chests who actually hit that whole bit somehow. Chest still going. No, finally finds a miss. This ending is ridiculous. I see why the map is now 7 stars.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, just solid, like, Thailand doing what South Korea did to them all match, and they just had a better 4 on that map. Just more consistent, no huge performances from any one player. Everyone just doing quite well, and just winning that one quite convincingly. So,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, that is close to doubling the score. South Korea getting sub 1 million, and Thailand.
Oh, I think one of their players.
Oh yeah, one of the players, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think they were like 1.1 mil or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of giving South Korea a taste of their own medicine there. We have a strong 4 and a confident 4. We don't need Lespri to win every map. and they just win that No Mod 3 confidently. And I mean, they've done the same on a couple other maps too, and No Mod 5 as well. They won with a pretty solid team performance. Also the Hidden one. They had some pretty solid team performances on other maps as well, but yeah, they're doing it again for themselves there. Lesbury not needed to FC every single map, although he just has been. And that's one of the first maps, I think, where he hasn't really performed aside from those low AR maps. But I mean, what is not performing when you're talking about Lesbury? Because like 400k is still good.
If 400k is still the second best scorer in the lobby, a little bit behind Salvatore, but yeah, when you've been playing, you know, the 700k plus zone for so many maps, it almost seems underwhelming, but obviously still a very good performance. Now it's 5-5 going into South Korea's last pick. I mean, this is where it gets scary for South Korea. You have No Mod 2, which is more stamina intensive than the previous No Mod 2s we've seen in the tournament, but still in Thailand's wheelhouse, and it's so difficult, you have to be horrified of what Lesbury can do on that. Hard Rock 1, it's Hard Rock, which South Korea has been playing pretty well on, but it's on the comfortable end of power. Yeah, it's aim, and you just don't want to play aim against Thailand. I honestly think you have to go for a free mod, and they go for free mod 3. I think you have to pick something weird right now, and yeah, I think it's a good option. Now this is...
I mean, free mod 3, I was kind of expecting... I was honestly expecting No Mod 2 or Hard Rock 1 over...
Really?
Like, I definitely wasn't expecting a free mod 2, but I mean, this still kind of makes sense, but yeah, I mean, we'll have to see how it works out for them.
Yeah, you know, this is an interesting map. Once again, it's CS5 AR8, and this is really difficult on both mods. There's lots of wiggle streams, which you can just make a straight line on no mod, but on Hard Rock, you either have to wiggle, which is crazy, or you have to make the straightest line you've ever seen. So it's really, really brutal to combo Hard Rock, but obviously, just with how hard the aim is on the low AR, also going to be very, very challenging for the no mod and hidden players. So yeah, it's just, I think it's going to come down mostly to the low AR players of both teams, but because Thailand has been pretty good on that skill set, this is going to be a close one.
Yeah, I mean, I think this will be a close one. We were kind of saying at the start of the match that for low AR in general, I think Thailand is more favored. But, you know, when you're on the free mod pick like this, and also South Korea have shown some dominance on low AR, we saw them break point on that hidden 3. I think...
Oh. I think he might have cut out there, Mavs. I think Mavs is mic DC'd. But yeah, as he was saying, low AR has been pretty contested. Thailand winning the No Mod 5, but losing the hidden 3. I think it's also kind of just going to come down to the Hard Rock as well. If you have a Hard Rock player who's actually able to play this map well, that might make a difference if the other team doesn't have that. And we're going to see who's on the Hard Rock. I wonder, you know, Lesbury is probably going to be the strongest Hard Rock player on Thailand. So maybe go for it. And especially since Lesbury has a really good low AR team backing him up. Yeah, maybe Lesbury on the Hard Rock might be a good option. On the side of South Korea, I think you go Piper on Hard Rock. Such a solid Hard Rock player. Might be the route. I believe we have the lineups up. Maybe Mavs had a internet DC. Hopefully he will be coming back soon, especially if we see a tiebreaker. Would suck not to have him on, but we'll keep you updated on that. Oh, he's back. Welcome back. Are you good?
I think I'm good.
Yeah, you're good now. I can hear you fine.
My Discord even dropped. My Discord just died.
Oh, your Discord dropped. Yeah, I've had a few Discord crashes happen. We haven't even started the map yet. I think there's been some delays, so
okay, beautiful.
Didn't miss much. Let's talk a bit about the pick.
Maybe their Discord's dropped as well. Maybe it was just a Discord moment.
Maybe.
To see. Okay.
They must have known you dropped. Just waited for you. Perfect timing.
Yeah. Here we go. Good luck in the chat. From a 3. So yeah, I'm wondering what the Hard Rocks are going to be here.
Yeah, I was saying I think it's going to be Piper and Lesbury, just the 2 strongest Hard Rock players. And I think for the side of Lesbury, you have a team who can back you up on low AR, so I don't think you have to go for it yourself. The mods have not loaded in. It is going to be Hard Rock.
Double easy. That is a double easy for South Korea.
I didn't even think of the easy.
Oh.
Be a panic.
It's actually Yorochi on the Hard Rock for Thailand, potentially coming in to kind of tank it for the guys here. It's going to be Salvatore, of course, their staple hidden player on pretty much every free mod. Fantastic and Lesbury on the no mods. And it's going to be a double easy for South Korea. MX and Comet on those easies. Piper with the Hard Rock and KLZY just rocking the no mod.
You know, I think easy, the benefit of going easy on this map is the wiggle streams become completely free, but at the same time, it's still such a difficult map to slap easy on. And so far, Thailand is quite at an advantage with Yorochi on a crazy Hard Rock combo and Phantasma holding as a really, really solid low AR score. And South Korea is also score capping themselves by running easy. It caps at like 800k, so they have to combo if they want big scores here.
Yeah, also keep in mind, I don't believe the overlay is showing our multiplied score, so this is...
I think it is. I think it is.
0.5?
No, I think it is updating. I'm pretty sure in like the second week of the tournament they put that in. I'd have to get confirmation on that, but I believe it's updating the easy scores. Could be wrong though, because the score is frozen right now. Yeah, according to Tokyo, it is updated.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah, no, it definitely is. I just did a little bit of quick math. Okay, cool. Well, no one has a combo, so that's something worth mentioning here as we move into the very end of the map. This map is almost over. It is only 1:49. I did not realize how short this is, but Thailand are winning by about 200k, and it doesn't seem like these easies worked out for South Korea, as will Thailand finally take their first breakpoint of the match. Lesbury again with a top score for his team, although not the top score in the lobby, as KLZY put up a nice 623k, but it wasn't enough for South Korea to take that one.
Ended up being very close because of Kersey's insane combo near the end, but maybe the easy is not working out as much still. When you multiply them by the score multiplier, like I think it's 1.6, you know, it's closer to more than 300k, but yeah, Thailand doing pretty well on that pick, and now it's the first real breakpoint. Obviously, the free mod 1 was more of a counter breakpoint off the hidden 3, but now Thailand is actually in the advantage, going 6-5 on their pick. You have some pretty good options for Thailand, I think. Free mod 2 is a bit of an unconventional alt map, but it's still an alt map, and that's where they have an advantage as a team. You also have no mod 2, which is so difficult that as long as you have one player who can get a big combo, and I think we all know the player we're talking about, then that's also a good option. I don't think you go Hard Rock 1 because South Korea is probably a better Hard Rock team overall. So I think it's no mod 2 or free mod 2 here.
I think free mod 2. I think they go free mod 2. Pretty sure. It's gotta be. Especially when you've got the buff of, even though the map's very different, you've got the buff of we've won both free mod picks so far. They were both breakpoints as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's got to be no mod 2 or free mod 2, I think. And it is going to be the free mod 2 coming out here.
Yeah, so this is, as I mentioned before, it's CS1. And what's funny about CS1, that pretty much nobody is practiced on CS1 because you can normally not map CS1. The minimum is CS2. And you have to edit the file to go to CS1. So this is an uncharted realm for a lot of players. And because Hard Rock scales circle size based on the original circle size, Hard Rock barely makes the circles smaller. It's a very, very small difference. It's mostly going to be going from OD9 to OD10 will make Hard Rock more difficult, but you might have a lot of players who just like AR10 a little bit more, and this is a map I could imagine overmodding on Hard Rock just because of how little of a difference it makes in the CS, because the base CS is so small.
Yeah,
oh, I mean,
it's so kind of an interesting one. We haven't had a map with this large, circles this large, definitely this whole tournament. CS1 is kind of crazy. What is the CS with Hard Rock even? It's probably going to be like
1.3. It's barely different.
Oh, yeah, because it works based off like a multiplier.
Yeah,
doesn't it?
It's like a multiplier, right? So like if it's CS5, it goes to 6.5, which is a huge difference. But because the circles are so massive that or the number is so small, the multiplier just doesn't make a huge difference.
Yeah, that's so interesting. I wonder like how many Hard Rocks we're gonna see on something like this. It's gonna be down to if you're more comfortable on AR10, you just take Hard Rock. It's
I think so.
Very strange kind of dynamic, as well as we might see a lot of hidden Hard Rocks. If we've got, very comfortable hidden players, we might see multiple hidden Hard Rocks for the side of Thailand. But we'll have to see.
I still think if you're really comfortable on no mod, it might still be a better option just because of accuracy. OD9 to OD10 on a map like this makes a difference. And I think generally something about really big circles, it's almost harder to act, I want to say. I don't know, it does something weird to your reading. So I think you'll still see some no mods, but it's 182 BPM, which is that stream BPM. But because the circles are so big, you'll see a lot of 1/4 cuts, which are usually very rare at this BPM outside of tech. But just because of how big the circles are, I think a lot of players will be able to hit them. But this is, kind of an uncharted skill set so far. I don't think we've seen a map like this in the tournament, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. We can see the over-modding on the Hard Rocks from South Korea, but Thailand just going one Hard Rock, one hidden.
Yeah, okay, so we are going to see multiple Hard Rocks, at least on South Korea, and it's just one extra Hard Rock. Everyone else is going to be on the minimum amount of mods here required. And wow, this is an interesting one. The start of that looked pretty brutal, to be honest. As we can see, a lot of low accuracies throughout the entire lobby. A lot of players below 90% already.
Yeah, I think you
Thailand
can see
with a pretty considerable AC advantage.
The Hard Rocks on the side of South Korea might lower their total AC by a bit. The no-mod players on the highest AC right now, than Phantasma doing really well on the hidden. Lesbury does drop, but it's still 3 to 2 and 1 to 2 recoveries.
Yeah, and three-way FC still for Thailand. They will lose one. Phantasma finds a break on the hidden. And Rize on the Hard Rock as well. So it's just chests on the no mod up against 3 big combos for South Korea alongside 1FC from Piper here. And now this is definitely going to flicker over. That wiggle was brutal, and it does catch Piper off guard there. Phantasma as well. Chests the only big combo to speak of for Thailand. MX finds a break as well for South Korea, and now more wiggle room for Thailand to start pulling things back into their favor. They are winning still, but it is a very, very minimal score lead, and that score is going to probably stay put or start to go into the favor of Thailand with this huge combo from chests.
Yeah, Athanasia is matching, but it's on Hard Rock, and just because of how hard it is to get good accuracy on Hard Rock, it's kind of countering. But it's just up to Chess to hold this for Thailand. But it's also Lesbury on a massive recovery as well, and Athanasia drops. That is most likely going to seal the deal. Almost no time left. That is going to be GG's on Thailand's pick.
And Chests seems like has done enough to close it out for Thailand. The whole match we looked at Lesbury carrying on a lot of maps, but when it came down to it right on the very last map, Chests is the one to put up a huge performance, an 855k, I believe that is an FC, on the 95%, and Lesbury just instantly leaves the lobby. I am done with you guys, with you scum. Like, actually just the GOAT, Lesbury playing out of his mind that match. Going to be a ridiculous match cost, but big congratulations to Thailand. It was really looking scary at the point where South Korea picked that free mod 1 off the back of a breakpoint, and they just needed to consolidate, and they fumbled it a bit, and Lesbury just came out of the shadows with that FC on the free mod 1, and that was kind of the turning point for me.
Yeah, that was definitely the turning point of the match. Thailand getting back the breakpoint they lost and winning on a speed pick, which is the skill set South Korea is, destined to win. There's a part of me that kind of wish it went to tiebreaker. I would have loved to see a tiebreaker, especially with a player like Lesbury in the lobby. But, it doesn't always happen. Thailand winning 7-5, and they will move on. But South Korea having a really good run as well, putting up a really strong fight.
Yeah,
And,
big
who do you see?
congratulations there. Yeah, big congratulations to Thailand and commiserations to South Korea. They're going to be eliminated from the tournament. This was the lower bracket. Thailand going to be moving on to the next stage against opponent that I am
Winner
unsure
of
of.
Chile, Ukraine.
Yes.
We don't know
Winner
who
of
that
Chile
will
and
be
Ukraine. That will be at 17 UTC today. So that will be in the next 3 hours, I think, if math serves me correctly.
Yeah, something like that. I believe so.
Yeah. Oh no, it's actually in 2 hours. In 2 hours and 20 minutes time is going to be Ukraine versus Chile, and the winner of that match is going to be going up against Thailand in the lower bracket. So make sure you're back for that one in a couple hours. But I've been Mavs, and thank you very much for coming and watching this wonderful matchup. We will see you guys in a couple hours. Well, someone else will, whoever's casting that match. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you for watching.